Well, hello again, everybody. It's been a long time since I posted a video, and I'm trying a little experiment. I'm using a different camera this time. I hope it works all right. Um, as you can see, let me go around the other side. I'm working on the rear steam header. Got some new developments here. I did make up, and it's about right. As if you look carefully, you can see it's just not exactly bent the way I want, but this is essentially a representation of the steam line that I'm going to make that will vent the top of the boiler to the top of the water sight gauge. It needs that vent so that the water can move up and down. And I think I know I'm going to remake this, because once you go to the trouble of silver soldering the ends on, you want that to be right. So I'll probably anneal another piece of 3/16 inch copper tube and try bending that again a little bit more carefully. That one would work. I actually, when I made it, I blew through the ends, and it allows air to pass, but it's not exactly like I want, so I'm going to remake it. Another thing I did was to obviously mount the rear steam header bar into position, so that the next thing I want to work on is the valve, the blower valve, which goes right here. I'm going to use a Loco Parts blower valve, and I need to connect it to the blower here. So let me show you a couple of things. Sorry about the finger in the way. Let me get my camera to focus on. Good grief. Sorry, y'all. Like I said, it's a new camera. I'm still getting used to. There we go. Okay. I took a little elbow. This is from one of the PM Research casting trees, and I drilled and threaded this thing for 3/16 inch 40, I think it is, model pipe thread. And I'll show you if I can do this one-handed here. Take this off, and I tested and cut model pipe threads, tapered threads, on a piece of this 3/16 inch copper. And the way I did it, you can see in there's a little solder residue. I haven't cleaned it all the way out yet, but in order to make sure that the copper tube didn't collapse, I put some soft solder in there, and a piece of brass, soldered it in the center, and then I put it in a 5C collet in the lathe, and then I just used the tailstock die holder to manually thread that part, and then I made this part in the mill. You can see we used a model taper pipe tap to make this part, and the idea is, if I can communicate this clearly, my idea is to cut this tube off. This is the tube for the blower line. Cut it off back here around about where my finger is, and then go through the same process, thread the end of that tube, and then I'll be able to screw on with this, tapered pipe thread, screw on a little fitting here, and then I'll have another fitting, another piece of 3/16 inch tube that goes up to the blower valve. And here's the actual blower valve itself. I took it out, and the base of it, it's pipe threaded, and this is 1/16 inch pipe thread. So it's 5/16/27. or 1/16 inch pipe, and this is the pipe tap right here. I put that to double check it. So I'll need to make an adapter fitting that is male pipe thread, 1/16 inch pipe on the back, and then the front will be 3/16 inch tube, and I basically need to make two of them. I'll show you real quick here. This is a 3/16 inch tube adapter. You've seen me make these things before. So long story short, I have a bunch of little brass fittings to make this happen, and I'm looking forward to that, because I think that's a lot of fun, and I will keep you posted. Thanks again for watching, and I hope this thing uploads okay. The other thing, I'll mention it briefly, once I get that piping done, the next thing I'll work on, I'll remake the top vent for the water sight gauge, and then this is the steam supply to the brake valve, which is down here. So I'll also work on routing that, and after I get those done, then this is the injector quick start valve that I made a couple of years ago, and this is the one I plan on using for the steam ejector for the steam brakes. So I'll be fiddling with those and how they all fit, and I still need to mount the injector down here and do the piping to the check valve on the boiler, and then do the piping for the whistle, put a whistle valve on. So there's a lot of stuff to do, and it's getting to be a lot of fun because I like making these brass parts, and I will keep y'all posted. Thanks again.